So pretty. Little Christmas lights. Happy Christmas. It's still Christmas, gang. Still Christmas, dear. It's only... Oh, have you moved slightly? You've moved across to the left. Hello. Greetings, gang. Welcome along. This is the new place for our weekly nighttime talk show, gang, every Wednesday at 8 o'clock and still, of course, on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock in the morning, although I'll probably move that to 9 o'clock as well, okay, to kind of keep it in line with the whole radio thing and what have you. So, you know, every morning at 9 o'clock and Wednesday nights at 10 o'clock. Wednesday nights at 10 o'clock and Saturday morning... Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, and so it's very confusing. Can anyone actually email me immediately and tell me when these shows are on? Because I've got no idea. I just wing my way through it. Anyway, Happy New Year! Should old... Oh, no, it's tomorrow night, isn't it? Wrong show, dear. Wrong show. Good evening. Millions of people all over the world. Welcome along to tonight's United Kingdom Talk, coming to you live from Bracknell in Royal Berkshire. And here we are, really, you know, in that period of not knowing what the hell's going on next. Have you had your injections? Who's been lucky enough to have a COVID vaccine injection? Psst. We are now online. We are now becoming flesh-eating zombies. Not that there's anything wrong with that, you know. I'm into a little bit of cannibalism myself now and again. There are a lot of tasty people out there, as I mentioned this morning. Who would you like to eat? That's the question I want to ask you today. Are there any stars and celebrities that you'd like to eat? If so, you can call in tonight and tell me all about it. There's the phone number. Open it immediately. You will notice that it has become larger. Larger is better. Don't be listening to all those experts on the radio special Sunday night radio shows and occasionally on late night television shows. Size means nothing. Oh, yes, it does, darlings. And that's why the phone number has become larger in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. First question for you tonight, gang. What celebrity or star would you like to eat? Perhaps you don't want to go as far as eating them. I can understand people like me, vegetarianism, might not like to actually eat someone, perhaps a little lick. How many of you are looking at me now and thinking, oh, he looks tasty today. Who wants a little lick of me today? Call in now if you want to. Phone lines are open instantaneously. 020-8144-3477. Remember, it's all a bit of a laugh tonight. Don't take it too seriously, otherwise you might be in the wrong place, okay? 020-8144-3477 is my live phone-in number. You can text in tonight as well. 07551259675. That's in the top left-hand corner of the screen. If you call in, you need to send your phone number. If you call in a withheld number or something like that, it won't get answered, okay? We've tried in the past. What happens is that people just put the phone down quickly and they do it on and on. So it's a bit pointless actually doing that. So you need to send your number so that if you're a bad, naughty person, I can simply block you. Okay, all right, so behave. Let's have a look at some of your messages coming in already on the show tonight. You haven't hung about tonight, have you? Don't anyone want to lick anyone tonight? Here we go. Good evening to Mr. George Bond. Evening, George. John Parrish is there. Evening, John, who says, see you in a moment. He said, oh, hang on a minute. What have I done there? He says, see you in a moment. Sorry, I just deleted that before I read the damn thing. Sorry. Evening to Fran Green. Hello to Gary Ross. Diane Jebb. Evening, Diane. Stephen Petty. Tier 4 now in Lincoln. And most of that part of the country, there's a sort of line in it. You know the bit where the UK, where the bum sticks out? You know where I mean? You know, you got a map of the country. That bit where the bum sticks out on the right-hand side, on the East Coast. The whole of that is now Tier 4, isn't it? Can't do anything or go anywhere, unfortunately. But that's how it is. Oh, sorry. Do you know, this silly sod here hasn't opened his phone lines, has he? 1 minute. So if you're trying to call in... That wouldn't have happened then. Sorry, gang. Let me just reopen those for you. I did try and open them and it didn't work. There we go. That's coming online now. 1 moment, please. And there it is. Okay, phone lines are open now, okay? 020-8144-3477 for the phone number. 020-8144-3477. Hello to Sherry DMP. Happy New Year to you as well, Sherry. We are doing a late night show tomorrow, 10:30, okay? 10:30 tomorrow will be our New Year's Eve show. We'll be taking it across New Year's Eve, and there is a special guest tomorrow night. A special guest has been flown in. That's all I can say. They have been flown in. Okay? Nope. Horses wouldn't drag it. It's no use sending me little messages trying to text. I won't be telling you. Hello to George Bonds calling in. Good evening, George.
Good evening, Chris.
How are you today, darling? All right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I called in to tell you what I got for Christmas.
Oh, what have you got for Christmas? What gifts have you got, George?
A drill.
A drill?
Yes.
Are you taking up dentistry? No, actually, George, joking aside, my nephew Gary has got a problem with one of his teeth at the moment. He's in great pain and suffering. He needs pain and suffering, that boy. I'm telling you now. He needs pain and suffering, and Mandy Davenport should be the one to go and give it to him. Yeah. You could go and sort his teeth out, George.
I wish.
Do you think you'd be good at that? Maybe you could test it out on your nan first. Or does she take hers out and put them in a glass?
She takes hers out and puts it in the glass.
Does she really? Oh, bless her heart, darling. You know what you have to do one day? Right? Hide them. Or get someone else's false teeth when your nan's asleep, right? Get someone else's false teeth, nick hers and put hers in a glass, and then when she tries to put them in the morning, she won't understand why they won't fit anymore. It's all done in the best possible taste, though, as Kenny Everett would once say. So you got a drill. Anything else?
Some DIY stuff.
Some what?
DIY stuff.
DIY stuff. Are you doing DIY now?
Yeah.
Oh. I better not tell my brother-in-law Martin, because he might think you're setting up in business in competition with him, because he does a lot of that DIY.
Yeah, I know he does. I watch his Butler's Empire and Retro Restore.
Retro Restore, that is correct. That's the one I always get wrong. Yeah.
But I don't watch his Retro Rehacks.
Right.
Because there's no talking in there.
Oh, you like to hear the people talking, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, funnily enough, I had this conversation with him a couple of years ago, and it turns out he worked out that actually the sort of people that watch the fixing things type videos, they don't want talking. They don't want talking, and they don't want music. What they want is to see something being fixed. I remember him saying this, and hear the sounds that you're making when someone's fixing something. For example, you know. Now, what can you see? Can you try and guess what this is? Are you ready? Are you ready? Right, try and guess what this is.
Hammer.
Pardon?
Hammer.
No, not a hammer. Try again.
You knocking on the door.
No, that's incorrect as well. That is me banging the iPhone on the table because the battery's empty, and I'm thinking that if I bang it hard enough, it will burst back into life again. I wonder if people are like that. You know, when they're dead, if you bang them hard enough, either end, I wonder if that brings them back to life again. Well, it works on Casualty. You know, when they're on those machines, right? And they go beep, 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 right? And then some bloke comes from out the office, runs for the hospital, knocking everyone else of the way, and starts banging them on the chest, don't they? And then they come alive again. So that seems to work.
Do you know what's really funny? I'm watching you on my telly.
Right.
And you're talking there, and you're slightly behind.
Right.
And of course, I can lip read.
Can you? Which end?
Yeah. So I'll put you on mute.
Yes.
On my TV, and you're talking there. What's this? Bam, bam.
Well, that's
when
very
you
interesting you should say that. There seems to be an awful lot of people out there putting me on mute at the moment.
Yeah.
They just sit there and look at me and, wonder if they've got any chance of being my significant half. I don't know why that is. Oh, do you know, I felt something bite me then on my head. I think I've got a flea. I think a flea just bit me there. Never mind. So what DIY are you going to do, George?
I'm doing woodwork.
Are you making something?
I will be soon, yes.
What are you going to make? A coffin?
Um,
Here, you can make one for your nan.
no, plant,
Pardon?
flower pot, a flower pot.
Oh, a planter.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, you must send us a
Please,
picture of that when you've got it done, all right?
Yeah. I'll tell you something else I could make, though.
Yes.
A new bed.
Why, has your bed collapsed?
No, people keep putting on the comments on YouTube, is your bed collapsed yet? Is your bed collapsed yet?
Why are they putting that then? Do you keep jumping on it?
No, it collapsed once
Oh, why is that then?
because when I sat on it, and it's that old, the bolt come loose and it come right at the end and it collapsed.
Well, I think the lesson is there. In future, tighten your bolts, my darling. There's nothing worse than anything loose. I'm telling you that now. They told me that. Chariots. They don't like it loose.
But the worst one is Jason Hughes. He keeps putting stuff like that.
Oh, does he? Oh, you have to go around and hit him. You have to just hit him, dear. I don't go along with all this liberalism. Oh, violence is very bad. You need to sit down with them and discuss with them what's wrong. No, you haven't. Hit him, dear. Hit him. Send round Mandy Davenport. She'll issue out pain and suffering, darling. George, it's been nice talking to you. Thanks for calling.
Bye, Chris.
Bye. He's going to do some
Bye.
DIY. I wonder what he's going to make, dear. How exciting. Do you like DIY, anyone? Oh, no, thank you, dear. Not for me. Let's just read some of these messages coming in this evening, gang. Good evening to Lee Toby. Good evening, Lee. There's Jason Hughes, who keeps upsetting George. Evening, Jason. George says, why can I not call you, Chris? Well, you just did. Oh, is that because I've forgotten to open the lines, that's why. They are open now, 020-8144-3477 if you want to chat this evening, gang. Rachel Wheatland in the house, evening, Rachel. Hello, darling. There's Michael Lawrence, evening. Had a lovely Christmas with your family. No, on my own. I had a Christmas on my own. It was all right. It was fine. You know, I found stuff to do. No problem. We went out for a nice walk on Christmas morning, long walk on Christmas morning. Had dinner, watched some telly. I think my favourite part of the day possibly was watching both Blankety Blank and Michael McIntyre's The Wheel. Yeah, I enjoyed doing that. So that was all right. Hello to Shania, who's saying, I wonder who the guest is. Yes. No, I'm not going to tell you. It would be a little surprise. As a teacher once said to me at school, it's a little surprise. Okay? And my special guest appearance from someone who will remain nameless on this programme. It could be a man, it could be a woman, it could be a bilinear type person who haven't decided yet. It could be anyone, darling, because we are diverse here. We are very diverse. They could be straight, gay, black, white, yellow. They could be from another planet, as many of you are. That's tomorrow night, and it will happen at approximately 2 to 3 minutes before midnight. Are you excited? Yes, of course you are. Of course you are. So thanks very much for that. Good evening to Maureen. Evening, Maureen. Hello, Maureen. Good news, Maureen. I requested that my lovely sister opens the parcels, which were up north. And the reason is we don't really know when I'm going to be able to go back up to Lincolnshire, especially now you're in Tier 4 as well, aren't you? Well, that's your own faults. It's your own faults. Don't learn from us down south, will you? Oh, no, no, no. No, there you go. Running around, gallivanting in and out of restaurants and pubs, snogging each other. It's the students, you know. This is the trouble. Sleeping with 10 people each night, you know. And they do the tongues, don't they? Oh, I've got COVID. How did that happen? Because you just had your tongue in someone else's mouth last week. That's why. Or some other people's mouths. You know what they're like, those students? Dreadful things. Bacteria pots, that's what they are. Pots of bacteria, students. It's all their fault. It's your fault. See, should have stayed indoors. It's your own fault. Don't blame us. So I don't know yet when we're going to be able to go up to the caravan. So, Maureen, I requested to my sister that she open the parcels and she sent me photographs. So, with your permission, Maureen, oh, thank you very much. With your permission, I'd like to show you what Maureen sent me for Christmas. And there it is. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? There's a Steam Trains calendar. Thank you very much, Maureen. We've got a Steam Trains calendar there. A beautiful card which says Special Friends. Thank you, Maureen. And a bar of Galaxy Dairy Milk Chocolate. You have spoilt me, Maureen. You've spoilt me. So thank you very much. And the reason is, of course, I don't give out my address to anyone. If I have any post, usually my sister's quite happy to take it in up there, so it all goes up north. And I was supposed to, of course, be there. But unfortunately, as things turned out, we were unable to move around. So that's why they all went up there. So thank you very much for that, Maureen. Hello to Mark Bowles. Evening, Mark. Looking wonderful this evening, I must say. What did Tina get you for Christmas, by the way? And what did you get, Tina? What did you give each other? What gifts did you swap for Christmas? Good evening to Mandy Davenport. Happy New Year to Mandy as well. She's there. Hello, Mandy. She's in charge of pain and suffering on this channel. Now I've got the whip. I've got all my sound effects at last put on the new hard drive. There's John Paris. Hello, John. George says, I can lip read. You say, oh, can you? Which end? Yeah, which end can you lip read? Ah, look who it is. It's our lovely Glenda in the US of A. Hello, Glenda. And Glenda writes, good evening, Chris. Wishing you a lovely and blessed 2021. Thank you for all the laughs and joy you have brought everyone. We are here tomorrow night, Glenda. 10:30 p.m. tomorrow night. We'll probably start the show. Okay, round about 10:30, and it will take us across the midnight time here in the UK, whatever that is for you, probably about 7, 8 o'clock at night. So if you want to join us tomorrow night, feel free to do so. We'll have the phone lines open again and the text, of course, and all that business. But tomorrow night we will be here for our very first, actually. All these years I've been doing this, and I've never done a New Year's Eve show, but we will be doing one tomorrow night. Starts at 10:30 p.m. with special guest appearance tomorrow night at about 3 minutes to 12. All right. Mark Bowles said he's bought Tina, his girlfriend, a holiday to Tenerife. What excellent news that is. A lovely holiday for Tenerife just for Tina. He'll be coming round here, Tina, incidentally. So you enjoy your time in Tenerife, my love, and I'll enjoy my time with your lovely boyfriend. All right, dear. Anyway, Glenda, I have to tell you that as you requested, I also got my sister to open your wonderful present that you sent all the way from the USA. And to show you, here we go. There's a little message from Glenda, which she sent via Amazon. Wishing you a very happy Christmas and a very Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year. I wanted to send you a gift to say thank you for all the joy and happiness you bring to so many people every day. You truly are a kind soul, and that's from Glenda. So a beautiful message. Thank you, Glenda. And she sent me the following things. Check this out. Yes, it is a planter. A caravan planter. What you put plants in. So that's one gift. That's not all she sent. She also sent this card. Caravan rules. Go for a walk. Make up smiling. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles for you. Yeah. Wish upon a star, Aberbargue. So thank you for that, Glenda. And she also sends me this teapot. Oh, yes. A teapot for the caravan. Actually, I've got a teapot for the caravan. I don't think I'd use that, Glenda, because it's beautiful. And the last thing I'd want to do is break something like that. And a couple of people have sent me stuff kindly over the years, which I've got. Certain things I don't like to use. My my nephew's wife sent me I think it was for my birthday actually, a Doctor Who teapot, which also, you've seen it sometimes sitting behind me. I think that's up at the caravan, sitting sometimes up there. I don't use that either. You know, they are too beautiful to use. And then, of course, also if you get tea stains, sometimes you have to put them in the dishwasher. And some things in the dishwasher, they can spoil. But thank you very much for that, Glenda. And you'll be very pleased to see that none of it broke. All right, my love. So thanks very much for that. Hello to Mick Davenport. Have a fabulous 2021. Thank you, Mick. You too. Christina is in the house. Hello, Christina. Christina, is it Christina Ewing? I'm guessing you're Christina Ewing. It just says Christina at the top there, so I'm guessing you're Christina Ewing. Hello, my love. Welcome. Shania says, one of the select few who knows my address is Shania. Yes, she does, actually. Shania's been with the show 12 years, longer than that, probably. She's one of the very, there's about 3 people have actually got my address, I think. So there we are. George reports that Lily, his little friend Lily, has got COVID. Oh, I'm very, very sorry to hear that, George. I'm really sorry to hear that. But she's young, you know, so that should be okay, I think, and she should recover from that quickly, I would hope. Really, really sorry to hear that. Very, very sorry to hear that. You tell her I send her my best wishes. She's a lovely soul, she is. She's your niece, isn't she? She's only, what's she, 8 years old, 9 years old? Such a joyful character. Well, I hope she gets well very soon. You make sure you tell her that from me. I mean that sincerely. All right, my darling. Hello to Mike in Brighton. Looking wonderful as always. Do you know when you sit in a certain way, you're wearing that Santa hat? Am I? I quite like that. You see, sometimes people upload photos and that to Facebook, don't they? And they do things in a certain way where it looks like, for example, someone's holding the moon. Usually they're in somewhere, I don't know, Maldives or somewhere like that, and you've got the sea behind them, and there's the moon, and it's like that. And they're holding the moon or something like that. Thank you. Oh, it's Christina Hunt who's watching tonight. Thank you very much, Christina. Nice to see you, my love. Michael Pullman is writing. Hope you're keeping well. Michael's in Australia. Hello, Michael, in Queensland. And Danny Woodhouse says, save me till the end. It's been a very eventful day in Romford. Has it really? Oh, what's happened there then, Danny? You must let us know, dear. Phone line's open if you want to call in. 0208 144 3477 is my phone number. Can I just read to you this? I'm going to ask you a question. Man buns. Man buns. Yes or no? Incidentally, if you're in the chat box and you're sending me messages, I don't go in the chat box. Just to let you know, gang, if you're new to the show or you haven't been around for a while, I don't go in the chat box at all, ever. That's just for you to talk to each other, okay? If you want to join in the show, like as in send me a message, either use the text number up there, 07551 259 675, or you can call in 020 8144 3477, or if you want, you can always send an email. There's my email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and that message will just come to me, okay? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, if you saw the YouTube, there's always a little picture advertising the show to tell you something that's going to be in it. And the picture I showed you today was this one. Now, I stuck this up on my Facebook thing as well. And I can't believe that someone sent me a message on Facebook and says, if you're going to use a thumbnail to advertise your show, we need to know who it is. Now, I don't know if this person's blind or stupid or what. How can you not know who that is. Now, the clue is on the text at the top right-hand corner. Oh, Paul. So there's your clue. It's someone called Paul. Do you know who this is, boys and girls? That's the question. Do you know who that is? I saw the picture and I knew straight away. Any idea who that is? Because this particular person didn't know. And I find that a bit difficult to understand, the fact that he didn't know. But nevertheless, there's the picture. And the story. He's got a man bun. Now, girls and boys, do you or do you not like man buns? Let's take a call from Roy Brownlow. Good evening, Roy.
Hello, Christopher, my old sausage. How are you?
Oh, you're very loud there. Let me just turn you down a touch. Speak again, dear.
Oh, I was talking loud. Sorry.
No, that's all right. You speak as loud as
How are you, my old sausage? All right?
You speak as loud as you want. I'll adjust you here.
Oh.
The louder the better. To be honest, the louder the better.
Do I spoiler alert and say who it is, or do I just leave it to somebody else?
Well, I announced you already. Go on, you can say your own name. Say your name, say your name.
Who is in the picture?
Oh, yeah, go on, you can say now.
That's Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney. Some idiot. I can't believe it. Gustav, actually. I mean, what an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes, I've got to say, Roy, not you, but sometimes if you don't know something, best to say nothing rather than look like a complete utter idiot, isn't it? It really is. Yeah. And it's like, at least, if you're going to use clickbait, he called it clickbait, then at least let us get an idea of who it is. Well, it says Paul in the corner. I mean, he's got a very distinguishable face, don't you think, Roy?
Well, I've actually answered him, and little story for you. I met Paul McCartney in about 92, 93. I was working at an holiday camp and going out with the hairdresser that worked there, who went to school with Paul's daughter, which I can't think of her name at the moment. And to be honest, he looked like an unironed shirt then. Wrinkles, honest, I couldn't believe it. The wrinkles on his face. I mean, he was dressed immaculately. I met him in Peasmarsh. I actually went to his house to Stella. I went to Stella's, I think probably her 18th or 19th birthday party. He had a big marquee on his house. And when I finished at the holiday camp, I went with Anita, and we went to the party.
Oh, that's wonderful. I bet he's a really nice bloke, isn't he?
Yeah, lovely. Linda was obviously alive then, so it was all veggie. Lovely guy. I met him at the same time. That's funny thing was 2 weeks after I'd met Spike Milligan in Rye Harbour. Actually, I met him. She says, "Oh, there's Paul McCartney there." Yeah. Nita, don't be stupid. You know how you do. Don't be stupid. Yeah. She said, "See that man with a nice suit on, his lovely trendy suit on. I'll introduce you." I said, "Don't be stupid." She went and says, "Hello, Paul." "Oh, hello, Anita." You know her straight away. "Hello, Anita." "Oh, I was, having a party, you invited, blah, blah." Who's this? This is my boyfriend. He works as an entertainer at an holiday camp at Canberra Sands. Was that Pontins? Pontins next door.
Pontins, yeah.
No, Pontins is next door. I worked for Bourne Leisure at Canberra Sands.
Oh,
the Pontins one was next door. And at the time, Paul Daniel's son was the ents manager next door. Mm. I worked with a guy called, our ents manager was Spencer Gibbons. You probably don't know who he's just been doing a lot of, it looks like Donald Trump. He's just been doing a lot of Donald Trump sort of stuff.
Is he a Donald look-alike, is he?
Yeah, he does look like Donald Trump. Yeah, Spencer Gibbons' sort of claim to fame was a record called Mr. Bassman by Russ Andrews, was it, or somebody? Anyway, that was he played the guitar, and that was his claim to fame, I suppose, and a few other things. So we met Paul, and I thought, God, he's got a wrinkly face.
But that man bun here, I mean, why do they do it? I'm sorry, and it's nothing to do with his age, because even these young lads, they've got these man buns on. I think they look blooming awful. Mm. Is it something that
it was at first?
Is it something that you might like on the top of your head, Roy?
Well, I've got no ears.
Well, I know. That's why I'm asking you. You could get like a man bun wig or something like that. That might.
Yeah. I tell you what I thought it was when I first looked at the picture. I have to be honest. I thought it was Paul Merton.
Oh yes, yeah.
There was a resemblance to Paul Merton, so I did think it was Paul Merton. But on closer inspection of the beaky type nose, I knew it was Paul McCartney.
Oh, don't let him hear you say that, dear. You won't be able to go to any more of his parties.
No. Oh well, his loss.
You've met a few. You've met a few people. You mentioned Spike Milligan as well. I mean, he was great, wasn't he?
Yeah. I was in a shop and Spike Milligan, mad as an actor. Spike Milligan come in, and I'd actually got a case in hand. It was full of CDs. Obviously working DJing at the holiday camp and that. And he come up to me and he says, "So, Feminette, don't make it too obvious that you're a drug dealer."
Well, you said that to you?
Yeah, don't make it too obvious that you're a drug dealer. He says, "Oh, is it full of money? Is it full of money?"
Is that how you looked? Is that the sort of look you had? You know, if you turn up in certain cars, they think you're one of those.
No, I had blonde spiky hair in them days. I had, typical holiday camp haircut, blonde spiky hair. So, and I just turned around to him and I said, "Oh no, it's full of your jokes. It's nearly empty."
Did you?
He just laughed.
Did you just say you had spiky hair?
Yeah, I used to have blonde spiky hair in those days.
Do you know what? So did I. Not blonde. Mine was black, same colour as my hair,
Yeah.
and it grew. And actually, I was about 21 at the time. I had this spiky hair that I used to gel. And God knows, if anyone had sort of, accidentally run into my head, I think they would have lost an eye, to be honest. There was so much gel on it, right?
On your head.
Seriously, and I've got no photos of this, unfortunately, and two big gypsy-type earrings. Well, they weren't gold, but they were gold colour. And I used to go around like that. And I never forget turning up at this social club, and they were quite older. There were older people in there, sort of my age now and older, sort of 55 plus. And I turned up and I went in with my gear, and this bloke comes to the door and says, "Can I help you, mate?" I said, "Yeah, I've come to do the disco." And he just went quiet. And I had my transit van outside. And he said, "Okay, well, that's where you set up." And he's looking at me up and down and saying, "What sort of music have you got, mate?" I said, "Well, whatever people want." "All right, okay." Anyway, I set up and I did the night, obviously, very quickly. We went almost immediately to 50s and 60s. They weren't going to dance.
Yeah.
We're talking of stuff like Que Sera Sera, okay? And then on to the 60s, some rock and roll stuff. And actually, a few people got up and danced. At the end of the night, this bloke come over to me, same bloke, and he said, "Well, I got around it to you. We were really worried when you walked in with your spiky hair and earrings, but we've had a fantastic night. We'll call you again."
You know what, Chris? I mean, I was a DJ, mobile DJ, and DJ clubs and pubs and whatever. There's nothing better, is there, when people, people say to me, well, you obviously got the money out of it. What do you get out of it? So there's nothing better when you walk away and you know you've entertained people.
Roy, I doubt very much for you. We've all got to live, but it wasn't the money, was it? It never was for me. It was never the money for me. It was the smiles on the face. The money came on its own eventually, but it was never about the money from the start, and it still isn't now. I just want to send people home with a little bit of a smile on their face.
Yeah, and you have a quick 5 minutes of fame, don't you?
You have 5
minutes to beat people's attention.
Yeah. You like the spotlight. That's why we do these things. That's why I'm sitting here. You think I want to sit here and be on my own? No, we quite like the spotlight. We do. That's why we do it.
Chris, I mean, to be honest with you, Chris, hold on, just a minute, I've just caught the button. To be honest with you, Chris, one of the highlights of my year coming across your channel. I'm not bigging you up or anything, but coming across your channel, mate, I enjoy your chat. You're amusing. You can be bitchy, you can be funny, you can be all them things, mate. And I have to applaud you, Chris.
Oh, can I hear the clapping, please?
Hold on.
Are you all right, dear? Don't ask me to send round an ambulance. There's none available.
There's thousands of us here breaking tier 4, mate, watching you.
Of course, you're in tier 4 now as well, aren't you? Yeah.
We've gone into. To be truthful, though, Chris, I mean, as you know, I live quite reasonable distance to Nottingham. I didn't go. My mate went today, turned around and come back and said it was packed.
Right.
So it was packed with Christmas. We're not Christmas shoppers. We're shoppers. He said it was packed. People will do, Chris, what they will do. I mean, on my Facebook, I just posted a picture of the 3 wise monkeys, and I thought these are the people that want to wear masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, people, but and you do get annoyed. I was somewhere there, and for a second I thought, why do you wear? And I felt that bit of anger. Why aren't you wearing a mask? And I thought, who am I?
Yeah, it's best to say nothing, I'm afraid, because you don't know who's on who's the other person you're talking to. It's like if I see, when I go out picking up litter. This thing that I do now, I don't know. I've become a bit obsessed with that actually. If you're walking behind someone and they drop something while you're picking it up, I wouldn't dare say anything because you don't know. They might have a knife in their pocket or a gun or worse. Could be anyone, couldn't it? Yeah. But I often get people talking to me while I'm walking out doing that, thanking me. And they're not just old people either. Sometimes, they thank you for doing it, which is nice. But it's just one of those things. I'll be very careful what you say to people these days.
It's its own reward, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, it's different now. Years ago when you was a boy and when I was a boy, if there was a disagreement, it could end up in a fight. But you never saw a knife. You never saw a gun.
No.
You never. It was just a fight. You might have, I don't know, perhaps a broken nose, but that would be about the worst what would happen. Now, you can be dead.
Well, for a while I taught boxing with police and we used to teach gangs and we had to go on a training course how to disarm somebody with a knife.
Right. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that quite
We did a training course.
Sorry, go on.
Of what to do, if someone, and my advice was, if someone pulls a knife out on you, the first thing you do is take your jumper off, wrap it around your arm, and use your arm as a shield.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you. Well, if you've not got enough time to take the jumper off, so you're walking along, and suddenly there's this bloke or woman, coming at you with a knife. What are you going to do?
Me personally, I would look for something to defend myself. I would aim for the legs because their attention's focused on their arms.
All right.
I establish you. So if you kick their legs from under them, if you can kick their legs from just knock them down, it just gives you that few minutes to escape.
Yeah, because
don't jump on top and wrestle them. Obviously, just escape. Or carry some loose change in your pocket. If you've got loose change in your pocket, throw it straight in the face.
Oh, that's a good idea. I would never have thought of that. Never thought of that. Actually, when you say kick him in the legs, see, I remember on the rugby field, one kick in the shins. Oh, the pain, dear, pain and suffering, like what Mandy Davenport gives out on this channel, my dear.
Oh, I'm in the queue.
Have you got any?
That's the best way. Is to. Defense. Kick the knee straight into the knee, mate. The knee can't go backwards. Remember.
Right. I'm with you.
So it will bring for an. And same, it's in the face. Always hit the nose.
The nose.
Yeah, because
I've got a big nose to hit.
It's one of the most painful experiences. Yeah, it's one of the most painful experiences is getting hit in the nose.
Should I test this out now on my? I don't. It does hurt, and that's only a light little tap. Have you got any magic? But those of you that don't know, Roy does magic. Have you got anything lined up at all next year, or is it all just waiting?
No, I'm still working Zoom shows. I've been doing a few Zoom shows, so it's over Zoom, live magic over Zoom.
Why do you do it on Zoom? Because that's like a small,
Well, yeah, it's private party. I did one, what did I want to say? Yesterday, Tuesday, I did one last night, 50th birthday party.
Okay.
8 of them in the room, all family.
All right, yeah.
And it's interactive, so they get sent a package. So they got a package with some cards in and some different props in that we were going to use, and then I perform the trick, but it's almost like they're there. So they pick the cards, they do this, they do that, they do the other, and someone, it's just performance related, so it's just me doing a trick that they could watch.
Is that like a job, or is it like what I'm doing now, sort of thing? It's
semi-professional.
You get a little bit of wages doing that sort of thing, or not?
Yeah. There's a small income for it. Because obviously my other thing was I used to film lectures and do lectures, and that's finished now because everybody's doing it over Zoom anyway. But that's all finished now. Luckily, I have a friend who does web design and updates web pages, so I get a bit of work there. So you've had to multitask, Chris.
Yeah. I think you've got to, these days, you've got to have your finger in a lot of pies, haven't you?
Mick Davenport's asking me to magic the virus away.
Oh, yeah, that could be your job for tonight. If you could work that out for tonight for us, Roy.
If I magic the virus away, wouldn't we miss Mick?
Would you what?
If I magic the virus away, wouldn't we all miss Mick Davenport?
Oh, you're so cruel, Roy. You're so cruel, dear.
Oh, it's just bitty. Right, Chris, I better go because, time's money and you've had your quid's worth.
I'll send a cheque. Thanks, Roy. Nice to hear you.
It's been a pleasure for you.
Keep doing what you love. Cheerio. There we are, Roy Brownlow there, boys and girls, calling in. The story, we were just going to do a couple of these messages coming in about the man bun. Shania's just got to disappear for a while. She's got to do the rosary. Thank you, Shania. Rachel says, I think it's time you came back into the chat box. I keep having to shut the damn show down. No, that won't be happening, I'm afraid, Rachel. Won't be coming into the chat box anymore. This works much better. George says, I bet you would look like a hedgehog with your spiky hair. I think I did, George. I did look like a hedgehog with my spiky hair. Seriously, I did. Let's just... excuse me a moment. Just got to push a couple of buttons here and get where I am. Hedgehog. There we go. Adam the plumber. Can you say hello to Royston, who's in my arms, drifting off to sleep? How rude. What, while I'm doing a show? How rude. Drifting off to sleep after a 12-hour shift of looking after and caring for peoples. He cares for, he works in care homes, Adam's other half. He's truly amazing with all their hard work and have stayed COVID-free since the start of it all. So they're obviously doing all the cleaning and the disinfecting up to date. Well done, Royston. Sweet dreams. Go to sleep, la da 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 da. Yeah, that one. Thank you, Royston and Adam there. Hello to Fran Green. Doesn't like man buns. Me neither, Fran. Awful things. Awful. Mark Bowles. It's Paul McCartney. It certainly was, Mark. Christine says this is the best talk show she's ever seen. Well, what's different then? It's just funny, sometimes people say that. And I read it and I think, well, what's different about this chat show in comparison to all the others? Why is this one the bell? I never know. Perhaps it's because there's not so many of them now. So you've got more time to do preparation and sort of things like that. Who's that? There's Stephen wants to know if he can call in. Yes, feel free to call in. 020-8144-3477 is the call-in number there, gang. Let's just go to the emails. Hello to Paul Dow. Evening, Paul. On the subject of the picture that I showed you some moments ago. Where is it? There it is. There it is. I thought it was a woman at first glance. Kim Woodburn. She's the cleaning lady, isn't she, Kim? I think she's great. Happy New Year. Hope to see you at karaoke in 2021. So thanks very much. David Fryer says, hi, Chris. How are you doing? I'm sorry I've been away for a while. I've not been very well. Any chance I can be added back to the bingo? Yes, but it's not on yet. We haven't restarted that yet. And so whenever that is, I don't have a date for restarting the bingo as yet. But back to the story then of Paul McCartney. I just showed you the picture a moment ago there. So Paul McCartney was certainly in holiday mode. This is in the Daily Mail, as he tried out a new trendy new man bun while sunning himself on the beach in St. Bart's. Where is St. Bart's? Is that one of the Caribbean countries? I'm assuming St. Bart's. There he is with his man bun. He's 78 now. Do you know, that ain't bad for 78, is it? I mean, it really isn't bad for 78 years old, is it? The Beatles legend, 78, rocked his funky do as he cozied up to his glamorous wife, Nancy, who's 61, while enjoying his annual Caribbean winter getaway. It really just doesn't do it for me. And judging from your messages and emails coming in this morning, tonight, you don't like it either. Man buns. I mean, it is bad enough on a youngster, but honestly, Paul, come on, mate. Dress your age, dear, like I have to. Look, if I wasn't the age I am now, let me tell you, I'd be sitting here in a tight black T-shirt for you all to ogle over. But sadly, doesn't suit me anymore, and neither does your man bun, lovey. The musician, where are we? The musician defied his status as he showcased the kooky new hairstyle, while Nancy looks elegant in a pale pink cover-up. But that's how he is. He also went shirtless, which I must admit, when I go shirtless, and I do sometimes go shirtless. I do go shirtless sometimes, boys and girls. I do honestly go shirtless sometimes, but only in private now, in my own garden. Even when I go out with the kids and that, I rarely take my shirt off anymore. It's not a pleasant sight, you know. Things are hanging, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to do something about it, but it's difficult. It's difficult when delightful people like Maureen buy me chocolate. In fact, my niece sent me a Christmas gift, which arrived just after Christmas, but that's fine. She sent me a Christmas gift in the most beautiful box, which I'm going to show you here. Roy wants to know, will there be a 2021 Chris calendar? No. Now, we've got a steam train calendar this year, which will be going up there, as sent in by Maureen. We've got a steam train calendar this year. Thank you, Maureen. Okay. Hello to Paul in Cornwall, who says, good evening, Happy New Year, and have a good time on the radio. Thank you, Paul. Well, the radio's in the morning. I'm doing a chat show here, live on this channel tomorrow night. That starts at 10:30. New Year's Eve chat show tomorrow, 10:30. Phone line will be open, and messaging system and everything else. All right. But anyway, back to this box that my niece sent in. Perhaps you would like to take a guess as to what was in the box. Here is the box that it came in, which I shall now place my hand across my address in case adoring fans turn up at my door later on and expect a cup of tea. There you go. This is the box. Isn't that beautiful? A pink box. Now, I don't like to be out round here. Do you know what I mean? I don't like people to know really that I'm very camp and gay. When I'm walking around here, I do try to sort of, you know, settle down. Sometimes I slip into it. There we go. Let's get rid of the label with my address on in case you turn up. There we go. Here's the box. Isn't that beautiful? What do you think was in that box from my niece? Go on, have a guess. Who's in the box? Open the box. Take the money. By the way, there's a raffle tomorrow night. I'll tell you what the prize is later. We've got a raffle tomorrow night. You'll like the prize. Oh, talking of raffles, we've got another Super Chat raffle. This is the last clock. It says Lockdown 2020 on it. Anyone who's sending in a Super Chat tonight or tomorrow night or on Saturday will get a free raffle ticket for that clock. A £1 Super Chat tip gets you 1 free raffle ticket. A £2 Super Chat tip gets you 2 free raffle tickets. And the prize is our last clock. I say last. It's our last lockdown clock, okay? This is the last one. All right, that's the Super Chat prize in a couple of weeks. Anyway, what do you think was in this beautiful box? Look at it. I'll open the box so you get some idea of the size. What do you think my niece sent me? And I shall reveal all exclusively on this channel. Right? Oh, no, I didn't bring the card up. It was such a beautiful card as well. Right. Okay, a little bit of paper in here. Any idea what that is? Do you mind if I just pop downstairs and get the card? I'll be back with you, man. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. I'm just going to get the card. It's such a beautiful card for my niece, woman. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles at you. When you're laughing, you probably just had a poo. And when you're smiling, da 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 da. Right, hang on a minute. Oh. It's all right for people like Mick Davenport. They've got Stanner stair lifts, haven't they? 1 minute. Right. Check out this card from my niece. Huh? Isn't that great? There's great nephew George. They're in Cyprus, you see. Great niece Emily and great nephew James. And I am his godfather. I'm a godfather to James my niece's little boy, and Olivia, my nephew's little girl. Godfather. He is the Godfather. Yes. All right, so there's the picture. Isn't that a beautiful card? And it says in there, 2 unks. She calls me unks. 2 unks. We hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Sorry you're having to spend it away from everyone, but I'm sure Gary the cat will pop by, as he did. Gary the cat pops by several times a day in the hope of something to eat. Love and miss you from Ben, that's her husband, Tracy, George, Emily, James, Pam. She has 3 cats. Pam, who's mummy cat. And then there's Rosie and Bella, the cats. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that a beautiful card? Absolutely beautiful card. So thanks so much for that, Tracy. Has anyone guessed what was in the box? Let's have a little look at the messages. Evening to Paul in Amsterdam. Hello, Paul. Hope things are well in Amsterdam. He says, evening from me and Cycle Ranger in Liverpool tonight. Tier 2 to Tier 3, sadly. Oh, you're only going to Tier 3? Gosh, you're lucky. You're lucky. Most people are going to 4. 4. Has anyone... No one's guessed what's in that box. Come on. Guess what's in that box. Tell me what you think is in that box. You must know, surely. Go on, have a guess. What do you think came in this beautiful box? Here it is again. Look at the size of it. No. From Moon... Oh, it's... By the way, here's another clue. From Moonpig. Moonpig.com. Is that the right sort of jingle that is? Moonpig. Great big pink box arriving at my house. I don't know what the neighbours thought. They thought there's some... Who's that? Who's the puff who lives down the end with the pink boxes arriving? That's probably what they thought. You know, I don't like to be out round here. The trouble is, it's not the blokes that you have a problem with, it's the wives. It's the wives and the girlfriends. Oh, I'm just going down the pub, love, they say as they exit their house and end up at my front door. Not my fault your wives don't satisfy you. Look at Mark Bowles begging at my door. Begging emails I get from Mark Bowles. Begging emails. Gary Ross says, was there any adult toys from Love Honey? What, from my niece? From my niece? She wouldn't send such disgusting things to this house. God's sake, man. What if Cannon, what if Cannon Simon saw such a thing arriving at this house? Certainly not. Was it a big... No, it wasn't, Mike in Brighton. Don't use those words. There must be a way of stopping certain words coming in on my text systems. Is it a pink flamingo in a box? That's better. That's better. Why is it always the blokes, ladies, who cause the aggro and the rudeness on this clean, loving family channel? Why is it the blokes? Have you noticed that? Always the blokes, dear. It wasn't a pink flamingo. Not a pink flamingo, Rachel. Mark Bowles, trainers or shoes? Sadly not. I could do with a new pair of trainers, actually. My trainers are looking rather worn out because I'm walking about anywhere between sort of 5 and 8 miles a day now. I will be going out for a walk later on as well. Roy Brownlow, is it a ballerina outfit in a box? Nope. Not a ballerina outfit in a box. Incorrect. George Bond, is it a pair of slippers or shoes? No. Mandy Davenport, was it chocolate, and more chocolate? You might be right, Mandy. You might be right. Would you like to know? It was these. Quality Streets. Now, oh, why are you eating that? You'll get all fat. This is the only tin of sweets that I have had this Christmas. So shut up. They arrived just after Christmas, and I'm very pleased to say I'm just getting through them. I've had these about 3 days now, and I've still got all those left. Look at them all. They are. Here, Mark Bowles. What I could do is place them all over my chest, and you could eat them off my chest. While Tina's in, where is it? She's going Tenerife or somewhere like that. Yes. And, you know, the funny thing is, with these sweets. When I was a little boy, I didn't like most of them. I only liked the orange creams. Ooh. Do you like an orange cream? George Bond, I bet you like the cream ones, don't you? Orange cream or strawberry cream centres. Or, what's the other ones? Oh, is it that one? Yeah. I think, no, that's not that one, is it? Oh, I haven't got any of those left. Oh, yes, I have. Fudge. Fudge. They're the only three I used to eat. I used to leave all the others. Now, I like all of them. I suppose, tastes changed, don't they? And I like all of them. What about even the purple one? That used to be very popular. The big purple one don't look very big anymore to me. I'm sure those certainly the purple ones. I don't know about the other ones, but the purple ones definitely were bigger than that, weren't they? Eh? You got this little green one. That's like a hard chocolate. Have you got the long ones? And there it is. That's like a toffee, quite chewy. But the most chewy one in here is this flat one. If I was to eat one of these now, I wouldn't be able to talk to you. So that's what was in there. And my niece sent me those for my Christmas present. And fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Not only that, completely unexpected. Because you don't expect to get presents from nieces and nephews and things like that. You just don't, do you? So when they come, they are completely and totally unexpected. And that just... I got a little note through... I got a text message from my neighbour who said, oh, I've got a parcel for you. I thought, wonder what that is. And he said, there you go, it's a bit of a pink box. I said, do you know, I've no idea what that is. And then I got in and opened it, and it was the sweets and that beautiful card. Beautiful card. There you go. Isn't that lovely? Thank you very much, Tracy. Paul in Amsterdam says they have the mass free 15 or so of the walk-in coving testing places, which seems to keep numbers down over there. Does it? Oh, okay. Yeah, well, they're going to start... they've got that new... Oxford, how do you say it? Oxford Zanif? Oxford Zanif? Something like that. I can't remember. This Oxford vaccine, which is ready to go. And they're going to start on Monday, aren't they? They're going to start on Monday. George says, I like the toffee ones. George likes to have a chew. Oh, you'll be down the dentist if you keep eating too many of those toffee ones. They pull your fillings out, you know. They will drag those fillings out your teeth. Michael Lawrence says he likes a big box of chocolates. Was that in the box? Correct, Michael. It was chocolates. Sherry DMP chocolates. Correct. John Parrish, a blow-up marked bowls. No, I don't do toys, John. Unless it's alive, it doesn't go in me, darling. Jason... It's an adult programme, isn't it? Jason Hughes, is it a personal grooming kit as I think you need it? How rude. Mark Bowles guessed correctly. Sweets. Thank you. Mick Davenport, more biscuits. Gary Butler, there's my nephew Gary. Hello, Gary. Said, is it a new face? Ha! No, I don't need a new face. I don't need new teeth either. All mine don't hurt me. How rude. Poor Gary's got a problem with his teeth at the moment. We'll take a call from Daniel Woodhouse. Good evening, Daniel, in Essex.
Hey, what? Is that me?
Yes, it's you. There's no one else called Daniel in Essex, is there, dear?
Yeah. Sorry about... Yeah.
Are you having dinner, dear?
No, I just found a nice piece of cheese in the fridge with my name on it.
Oh, I've never seen cheese with people's names on them.
No, it doesn't even have to be. I know what's got my name on it.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Chris, can I just pull you up on something?
Yes, if you want to pull me up.
You've been using that Essex a little bit too much, dear.
Have I?
Well, because officially now, since for about the last, what seems like 100 years, we have been known as in the area called the London Borough of Avering. You see?
What, is it Essex or Avering?
Well, it's a London Borough, you see, so we're now putting the East London bit.
Oh, please. It's Essex, dear. Essex.
It's confusing because they put us in a London borough and give us all London buses, but they still put the postcode. What is
the first bit of your postcode, please?
RM1.
What is it?
RM1.
RM1. Well,
Yeah,
that's not
an
London,
address,
dear.
by the way. Not the first route master bus.
Well, it's not London then, is it? RM is not London. It's either NSEW, NW, and so on. RM is not London, dear.
Yeah, perhaps maybe there's this like bit where you've actually got, say, the central London area.
Yes.
Then you've got the actual proper London suburbs under E or SE and SW and all that. And then you've got that bit of the home counties that still gets the London services, the London transports and all that. And then you've actually got the proper home counties over right outside there. Perhaps that's maybe how it works.
Well, I don't think you're London, darling. Mick Davenport says you sound like you've had a couple of drinks. Is that right?
Well, no, that was last night. Maybe I'm just a bit.
Perhaps you still haven't. It sounds
Chris.
like you still haven't recovered from that. What did you have last night to drink? Do you drink lagers and things like that? Do you?
No, there was on the wine last night.
Oh, was you? Oh, you're on the cheap.
was that?
Is it cheap wine, like £3 a bottle?
It's that Lambrusco.
Do you know it's quite popular? In fact, my sister quite likes that. I think my sister likes that.
Yeah. No, anyway, you want to know what happened today?
Yes, please. What happened in your sad, lonely, pathetic life today, please, Daniel?
I wouldn't quite go that far.
I would.
Because it was quite good.
Oh, go on then. Something good has happened to you. What's that?
I actually managed to repair the printer.
What? Oh.
And in that case, yeah, I managed to repair the printer, yeah.
What was wrong with that then?
Well, because it's an Epson Eco Tunk, you see. And
is that
one of them...
Is that one with the separate inks, red, yellow?
Yeah,
and...
it's a no cartridge printer.
No cartridge? Well, what do you put in it then?
Yeah, so you just put top up these separate tunks with ink, a black, yellow, blue, red, magenta, and so on.
All right. Is that quite cheap then to do it like that?
Well, depends on who you are. You see, if you're me and you've looked into things, there's bits you don't get told. You don't get told that there is a piece of sponge in the printer. Right. And every time you have to do a head cleaning cycle, it deposits certain amount of ink on that sponge to keep it going, you see.
Right.
And eventually that sponge is going to get so saturated that it will go, ink pad needs replacing, you cannot use the printer anymore until it's replaced. And it needs a certain code. I've got to have software on this computer to get a code. You have to actually pay for a code to actually get it working again. And you've got to change the sponge. Now, sorry, see, if you know how to do it, if you look to know how to do it, you're all right. But if you don't know, then you're going to end up paying a repair cost that's more likely to be more than the cost of a printer. You know?
Well, yes, it's just not feasible to repair a printer most of the time, is it?
Yeah.
Unless, like you can do it yourself. So what do you have to get? A new piece of sponge, or do you just like put that one under the tap or something?
Well, I've dried it out. At the moment, I'm using scour sponge.
Oh, really? Just from
cuts.
like, yeah, 50 pence piece of sponge then you're using?
Yeah, well, whereas them sponges, they're special sponges that cost about £50 or something.
50 quid for a bit of sponge,
yeah, I'm not
dear.
joking. That's what I've been told.
Shocking. That's like buying parts for a car, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
Shocking.
But
Shocking.
It's there now, all essential again for my bingo project, which is still trying to get carries on going. Because I suppose I should explain it to you.
Please do, yes. We can't wait. This
and our
is really
friends
interesting.
that are listening, so we get it cleared up once and
I've just got a little message for you here, Danny. You'll be pleased to know you have a fan in the USA. Glenda in Pittsburgh says she loves to hear calls from Danny. There you go. Isn't that nice?
It's very nice.
Yeah,
Thank
you've got a fan, darling.
Glenda.
Got a fan.
Yes. So anyway, what I've done, I've called it Easy Book Bingo, you see.
Yes.
And what it is, it's the whole... You've got 4 different bingo games. You've got the 90-number housey, which we all know of on here. There's a 75-number American game where the numbers are under the letters. It goes under the B on its own, number 3, under the G, 5 and 3, 53, all that. Then there's 2 80-number games. An 80-number party, which is like the American, but it's got colours instead of letters. And an 80-number quadro, which is like the housey, but instead of a strip of 6, it's on a strip of 4, And each panel has got 4 lines in it, so it can be played for 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines and a full house. Hello?
Yes, we're still here.
Oh, sorry. God, I thought everyone had gone a bit silent. Anyway, where was? Oh, yeah. And then the other thing is the actual books themselves. So you might have seen these books going around the internet. They're called Jumbo Bingo. Have you seen that?
No, not seen that one. No.
Oh, well, it's a sort of like bog standard book. But people go on and bang on about it because the numbers are so big and all that. But the numbers are always big on any bingo ticket, big enough to see, as long as they're big enough to see. So, and the trouble is with them, the paper on them, they're perforated, and the paper's so flimsy that you've only got to man-hand it, and the books just degrade. So, but with these books called easy books, they're different. Instead of being glued on the left margin, they're glued on the top margin, and there's no perforations in them. So you just get, if it's a house, you get a strip of 6, or if it's American, a strip of 3. And so on. So you get all the numbers in that whatever game you're playing are there in front of you. And then, as well as that, there's also more than one different book in each tub. So there's about 10 different 2-page books. They've all got colour codes on them, you see. So if you wanted to play one 2-page book, have a break, then have another one. You buy, say, a 2-page blue book first, and then you buy a 2-page red book. So there's more choice. It's a bit more. It's a more like, let's say, flexible. More. Oh, I don't know what the word is. Elaborate, more sophisticated.
All right.
Bingo setup. Let's say, really for anyone, whether you're old people's own pub, social club, community centre, anywhere really, where anyone wants to play, and it can also be used with that Lee's Bingo software as well.
Do you use that much, do you?
Well, yeah. Well, it's the only one you can get. I mean, I know there's yours, what your friend did for you, but that's specific for your show, of course. But with the Lee's Bingo, because it has this facility to put your own bingo tickets in it, numbers in it. Because I work for Mecca, I know the different ones that have come from all the different manufacturers.
Did you really? You work for Mecca?
Yeah, I'm afraid I did, yes.
Do they have to take their own mats?
Mats?
Yeah, to Mecca to do the praying. No?
Oh.
Is that something you provide, is it?
No, not that sort of. No, I wouldn't go there, Chris.
Well, it's been very interesting hearing you about your bingo today.
Yes.
When are you starting doing that then?
Well, I will be getting it going. Well, I just think really when we all start getting back to normal, I should put them on the site there's a selling site called Etsy, ETSY.
Right.
And there's already some stuff there listed already.
Right.
And so people will be able to go on there and see what's available, buy what they want for their own bingo. So if anyone out there knows any community bingos going around or that might be being started up after lockdown, you know where to come.
Well, thank you very much, Brett. If they come to me with that information, I shall pass it on immediately to you, Danny.
Oh, lovely, thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Have a lovely evening.
Yes, and I looking forward to tomorrow night,
What
Chris.
an interesting call. Thank you, Danny. Speak to you tomorrow then.
Okay, Chris.
Bye now. There we are.
Bye.
Daniel Woodhouse calling in there. Oh, God blimey. Some messages here. Sherry, is Danny keeping you awake? Well, he was a bit, to be honest. Peter Wright, is Daniel boring you? No. How rude. What a nasty thing to say about someone. John Parrish is laughing there. Watch out for power cuts, says Paul in Amsterdam. Hello to Peter Wright, who says, how's you? How's you? Sorry, so late, forgot about the show. Never mind, most people do, dear. Most people do. I'm glad you're of amusement there. No, Gary, I'm not reading that one out, nephew. Anyone else want to talk? 0208 144 3477. Mike says, can we see your Dalek? Yes, you can. Where is he now? My Dalek. Now, where did you see that? My Dalek. I don't know where it is. Did you say? Oh, here it is. Here he is, my Dalek. I've got two, actually. There's a larger one somewhere. We are a Dalek. New Year's Day. Got the new Doctor Who, and it's the Daleks. Looking forward to that, okay? There we are. A gold. I think that's the head Dalek, the gold one, isn't it? Garlic, Dalek, one of the two. Glad you like Daleks as well. But yeah, thanks very much, Daniel, for calling in there, talking about his bingo. We'll be restarting our bingo at some point, okay, in the new year. Fingers crossed for that. Do you like my socks, do you? Here, look, it's my socks. Would you like one as a prize? There you go. There we go. There's my socks. Do you like them? They don't smell. I don't really have smelly feet, except when I've been for a walk. I'll probably go for a little walk later on, actually, after I've done the show today. Good news for Casualty fans. It's back on Saturday night on BBC One Colour. Very pleased to say. Do you know that? Can you believe this? And I know Fran likes Casualty. That has been off since August. Can you believe that? Casualty has not been on the telly since August. Anyway, it's back on Saturday night, so very pleased to see that. I'll tell you what I did see the other day on the telly. We talked about Paul McCartney there and his hairdo. How about, do you share food with your pets? Now, I know one or two of you with dogs, certainly my sister does this, and if she has food left over after dinner or anything like that, she scrapes it into the dog bowl, and the dog is very grateful and eats it all up. Right? But would you actually sit there and share a cake with your dog? And this is something I saw just around Christmas Day. It was the very easy on the eye Lewis Eye Candy, Lewis Hamilton, the bloke who drives the cars in it. He had COVID as well, didn't he? And he shares a cake with his dog. Would you do this? Look at this. Literally, so he'll have a bite of it, and as you can see, it looks like it's in his mouth at the moment. He'll have a bite of that cake, and then that beautiful dog of his, is it St. Bernard, is it? Is that a St. Bernard dog, would you say? I'm not quite sure what that is. St. Bernard dog is sharing the cake with his dog. Is that something you do? I had a lodger here once, about 25 years ago. His name was Lewis. He was a nice enough bloke, and he had a beautiful cat called Khan. Black cat. It was beautiful. Such a friendly cat. Probably as friendly as Gary, the cat who comes and visits me regularly, 2 or 3 or 4 times a day now. And Lewis was sitting there in the living room one day, and we're both watching the telly, and he had a piece of, it was early in the morning, breakfast time, and he had a piece of toast in his hand. The cat jumped up on his lap and literally took the piece of toast out of his hand and ran off with it. I couldn't, eat a bit of a cake and then give a bit to the dog after that, could you? That's not my sort of thing. What about you? Would you share your food with a pet like that? Not as in I finished scraping it, literally sitting there feeding a bit to the dog and you having a bite of that same cake? I don't think so. Mandy Davenport says our 2 dogs had a Christmas dinner, and why not? They are part of our family. Oh yes, I understand that, Mandy, but would you sort of sit there, and perhaps the dog has something off the plate while you're eating it, but with the dog's tongue or something like that on the plate? I'm sure, Mandy, we all do it, we take something off our plate and there you go, give it to the dog or the cat like that. Would you allow that pet to come and lick it off the plate? I'm not sure that you would do that, would you? Mick says both our dogs had Christmas dinners. They also like a cupcake. You mustn't give them chocolate, must you, dogs? Fran says it looks like a boxer dog and I would not feed it cake. No, it's very bad news. There we go, let's have another look at that. It's a boxer. Is it a boxer? Okay. You know more than me because I don't know really. Possibly a boxer dog. Beautiful dog, though, isn't it, eh? Oh, a pair of gorgeous people on the screen in front of me. I can only dream of such happiness in my sad, lonely, pathetic life. I was going to tell you what the raffle is tomorrow. As you know, we got the Super Chat raffle, which is a clock. That'll be won not Saturday, the Saturday after, and that's the last one. there is actually one more. And we'll be giving that away in a free raffle tomorrow. Okay? After midnight, I think probably after midnight, we'll do the raffle. It will be a free raffle only for people who are here tomorrow night. So make sure you're here for the show. It's a free raffle for the very last clock. And that's the other last clock for the super chat raffle. All right, my loves? So make sure you're here for that. Roy says, I shared food with my pet, or as I call her now, my ex. How rude. George Bond is now waking up. Pleased to hear it, George. Mike says, your socks remind me of Why Don't You, the kids' program in the 80s. Yes, I do remember that. Why don't you switch off your telly and go and do something less boring instead, wasn't it? That was the one. Long title that was. That was on BBC One, wasn't it? Peter Wright says, do you think we should all have gone into national lockdown instead of 78%? Well, we don't. It's a bit serious for us to do anything like that, Peter. But no, yes, I do. I think the whole country really should have gone into lockdown. But, you know, we'll have to see what happens and keep our fingers crossed that next year will work a lot better than this year will be. Can you imagine that? Such an awful year. One thing I'd like to talk to you about tomorrow night, not tonight, is have you got any sort of anything you want to do next year? Doesn't necessarily have to be like a New Year's resolution. But is there anything that you want to do sort of next year once we can all get moving again? I personally thought it would be next winter when we could start moving around again, sort of November next year. I've changed my mind. I think it's going to be earlier. I think it will be earlier now. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Mandy says, I don't share with food with anyone, not even the dogs. Oh, the worst thing in Mandy, the worst time is when I've got some chips, innit? And you're out with someone. You go to the chips. Do you want some chips? No, it's all right. You sure? No, I don't want any. I'll just have a couple of yours. No, you won't. Do you want chips? I will buy you chips. No, I don't want a whole portion. I'll just have a couple of yours. No, you won't. You ain't having a couple of my chips. The only people I would give my food to are great nieces and nephews and nieces and nephews. Certainly not my sister. Or brother-in-law or friend. Nope. Only to younger people in my family. They're the only people, and I'd sit there. Do you want a chip, Gary? And I'd be really disappointed if he took one, to be honest. But I would let him have it. My sister, you get the fork, bang, over the fingers with it. Oh, why did you do that? Because you tried to nick my chips. Not having my chips. Rachel, no, I wouldn't share my food with my dog. I can't even eat off my kids' or hubby's plates. Like it in my mouth only. No one else's saliva on food. I totally and utterly agree with you, Rachel. Some of these younger people make me laugh, you know. That age where they're out pulling and not, how can I put this? Pulling and not coming home at night. They go back with someone. Girl or boy, whatever. They do those things with them. But in the morning they won't share a toothbrush, will they? I'm sorry. It's right though, isn't it? All that kissing and whatever else, but they won't share a toothbrush. Work that one out. George Bond is walking now. He's doing exercising every morning. Excellent news, George. I'm glad you're doing that. Glad you're doing that. Glenda, how many drunk phone calls are you going to receive tomorrow night? It doesn't matter though, Glenda. I don't care really, as people are drunk or whatever. As long as I don't get any swearing. It's very quick to cut someone off. You might get a word in. But once you've been cut off, you get blocked and then that's it. Unless you've got another phone number. That's why I don't take any unknown phone numbers anymore. because probably in the past, I know you've been there in the past, Glenda, where we've sat here and let's take a call and it's an unknown and you say hello and they just put the phone down. Kind of spoils the show a bit. I'm not quite sure what people actually get out of doing that, but there you go, one of those things. Mick tried taking my food and they would have a fork in the back of their hand. I don't blame you, Mandy. Absolutely. A fork in the back of your hand. Or maybe your arm, sister. Anywhere, really. Mick says, I want us to be able to cuddle our new soon-to-be grandchild. You've got a new grandchild coming soon. Yeah, so we'll do that tomorrow night, gang, okay? That we will do that tomorrow night. Anything you want to do in 2021. Have a little think about that today and then perhaps you'll call in tomorrow night. Phone line's still open tonight, incidentally. 020-8144 3477. Let's have a look. Yes, as I mentioned earlier in the show, our show tomorrow night, 10:30 is when we're starting on New Year's Eve. It will go across 12 o'clock. The 12 o'clock sequence, the whole midnight thing, that's all ready to go. That was done. I spent, believe it or not, it's about 3 minutes long, and it took me about 2.5 to 3 hours to put that together last night. I hope you like it. We have got Big Ben. Big Ben will be here. I have had to slightly change the sound because, believe it or not, it threw up a copyright issue when I tested it out. I can, if I'm not sure of a sound effect or a piece of music, I can upload it to YouTube, although you can't see it. Okay, I can upload it to YouTube as like a private thing, and you leave it there for a while, and if there's a problem, you'll get a copyright message. Not a strike, just a message saying, hello, you can't use that, otherwise we'll do this, or something similar. It's not too bad. And Big Ben indeed threw up a copyright thing last night, so I had to slightly change the sound, but it's still Big Ben. You'll see what... probably won't even notice it. Okay, but it is all ready to go tomorrow with our very, 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 very special guest tomorrow night on this programme exclusively to United Kingdom Talk. You'd never guess, not in a million years. Peter Wright has sent in a £2 super chat. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter. A £2 super chat from Peter gets you 2 free raffle tickets for next Saturday's Super Tour. That's not this Saturday coming, Peter. Okay, it's the one after. All right, just to let you know, it's not this Saturday. It's the one after. That will be our very last clock. Don't forget, there is a free raffle tomorrow. For the other clock, and then that's it. That's all the clocks gone. The 2020 clocks have gone then. So Peter Wright. Actually, I think you bought some last week, didn't I? I gave you some free raffle tickets last week, didn't I? If I remember rightly, Peter. Thanks very much for the super chat and your £2 tip. 2 free raffle tickets for you in there. Yes, you've already got some. There we are. You've already got some in there, haven't you, my love? Well done there. Thank you. Let me have a look there. Right, let's do some of these little stories got there. No need to touch the fridge door anymore. How fabulous is this? Look at this. In the Daily Mail this morning, it was in this morning, a voice-controlled smart fridge. The door opens when you ask it. Be a bit like your Amazon device, you know. I can turn on my heating. If I've got the kettle switched on and plugged in, I can turn on the kettle, various lights. I can do it all on my Amazon device. I can listen to my radio show on my Amazon device. Don't forget, boys and girls, radio show tomorrow morning, 10 till 11 o'clock. That's at reachonair.com. Next week, I move to 9 o'clock. Okay, it's moving from 10 to 9. So I'll be doing 9 to 10. The reason is 10 to 11 is a lovely time to be on. But by the time I'm out the door, which is happens very quickly. About 10 past 11, I managed to get out the door and go for my walk. But I'm not having lunch till 2:30, and it's really late. So and the 9 o'clock suddenly came up. So I asked for it, and I don't think anyone else asked for it, so I got it, which will allow me to do 9 till 10. And then by 10 past 10, I'll be out the door. Well, I'll be back at like 12:15 for my lunch then. And that works for me a little bit better. So from next week, my radio show, reachonair.com, moves to 9 to 10 a.m. Tomorrow morning, 10 to 11 a.m., okay? Anyway, soon you'll be able to open your fridge door just by talking to it. Why aren't wives and husbands as easy as that, ladies and gentlemen? Why is that? You know. Can you put the kettle on, love? No, I can't be bothered. They won't do it, will they? Why can't people just do as they're told? You see, all this domestic abuse that goes on, I've got a theory here. Domestic abuse. A very serious subject. If you did what you were told, you wouldn't get hurt, would you? I mean, it makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. Anyway, LG. A voice-controlled smart fridge that opens on command so you don't have to touch the handle and risk spreading viruses and germs has been revealed. What a fantastic idea. The appliance, part of the updated InstaView door-indoor fridge, is to be formally unveiled by LG at next month's Digital Consumer Electronics Show. I'm a bit of a fan of LG stuff. I've got 3 televisions in here. They're all LG. 2 non-smart TVs. I mean, that says it all, doesn't it? They're quite old. One's in the kitchen, one's in the bedroom. 32-inch flat screens, LG. Not smart TVs, they're just TVs. So they've got to be a minimum of 10 years old each. And I have a larger smart TV in my living room. In fact, my... where is it now? That one there? That up there? I've got LG air conditioning in this particular room. If I've got the money together, I've decided I'm going to get that one in the bedroom maybe next year. Yeah, at the moment I've got a wheel around bike. It's a bit noisy. So I might have that done next year. Anyway, back to this story. Yes, they're going to unveil it. The Korean firm, LG, our Korean firm, estimates that the hygienic feature will be desired in light of the coronavirus pandemic. Well, yeah, I mean, I understand, but if they're trying to sell it on that, I can't see that. Because maybe the fridge door, but what about the counter that you touch all the time? The oven door, the kettle being turned on, opening and closing cupboards. It's only one item, so I can't see that, to be honest, as a selling point, can you? But anyway, it's the titular, it says, the titular InstaView feature, they've got a screen on there as well, allows the contents of the fridge to be seen with just 2 knocks to the front-facing window. Sounds like a ghost trying to come in, doesn't it? Like that. Front-facing window. A prompt which illuminates the inside. So you can see inside then. This helps stop cold air from escaping from the appliance. Now that makes sense, doesn't it? Because, of course, every time you open a freezer door or a fridge door, hot air rushes in. Particularly at my fridge and freezer, because I don't stop talking when the show's finished, you know. I just carry on talking to myself. I find it very interesting talking to myself. I really do. I like to listen to my own radio show when I'm walking around. Great entertainment. Someone says, what do you listen to on the radio? Oh, best thing on there. What's that? My show. Every morning, 10 to 11. Reach on air to move 9 to 10 next week. So that's a great idea of having a little bit of glass there so you can see in the fridge or freezer. Don't have to open the door then, do you? Unless you want to get something out, of course. It says it stops, the glass bit helps stop cold air from escaping from the appliance, as does the door-in-door feature, which provides a separate compartment for commonly used items. Why has this not been done before? You know, sometimes things that are really simple, like a piece of glass in that fridge door, a double glazing, I suppose, or triple glazed glass. Such a simple thing, yet it's never been done before. Funny, isn't it, that? LG have yet to reveal when the new InstaView fridge models will be available commercially, nor how much they're going to be. In April, a company predicted that voice-controlled devices that will allow users to avoid touching things will be seen as a 30% rise in demand thanks to COVID-19. So there we go. You just say, open the door, open sesame. It's like going back in time, really, isn't it? To those magic films. Roy Brownlow would know all about this. Years ago. See, why has it taken so long? We used to see things, what's that little Disney film? The one with the magic carpet. Oh, I can't remember now. But there's something that says, open sesame, and these doors open. Well, we haven't had it yet. We have now. Thank you, LG from North Korea. Or Korea, whichever. South, North is all the same to me, darling. How is that man? King Ching Chong Ab. He's a wonderful man, isn't he? I wonder if he'd be ordering one of the new fridges. Be able to keep all his little guns and things in it, little toy guns that he's got. Oh, who shall I shoot today? Which ballistic missile shall I test today? Like that, innit? Huh? All those years it's taken. Sinbad, isn't it Sinbad? Sinbad. Is he the one with the open sesame? Now you'll be able to do it. That's what LG have got to have that, isn't they? Instead of saying open the fridge, you've got to be able to say open sesame. I think it's a great idea. Shania says, I'm back. Did you miss me? Of course we missed you, Shania. Okay, watch what you're saying now. Shania's back, head of the Catholic Church. Some of them were getting a little bit rude, Shania, to be honest. You missed Daniel's phone call, dear. Very interesting today. Go back on the replay later and have a little listen to Daniel's phone call. Talks all about his bingo there. Paul in Amsterdam said, the last time I heard open sesame, someone was talking about your legs. Ah, how rude, Paul. I should delete that comment immediately. Rude, dear. Rude. Mike in Brighton. Can't wait till they invent the Star Trek food replicator. Yeah, we're all waiting for that one. That one, Mike. And the tricorder. So you're laying there in an hospital, you know, right. And someone comes up with I do have an actual tricorder here, actually. Here it is. There. Come closer to the screen, Mike. Yeah, I can do this from here. Come closer to... Yes, really. Yes, I do mean it, dear. Come closer to the screen. Oh, you're not doing it. I can't tricorder you if you're so far... Oh, that's better. Come closer to the screen. Are you ready, Mike? Right. I think this might be the last show that you're with us, Mike, but don't worry. Perhaps it's wrong. Perhaps it's wrong. John Parrish, Aladdin. Thank you very much, John. It was indeed Aladdin, was it? Open sesame! Roy Brownlow, fridge open, no lost fatty, Chris. We're all trying to lose a bit of weight. Anyone put on any weight? Tomorrow is a weigh-in day for me. When, just before Christmas, I managed to get to, I think it was 13 stone 6. Was it 6 or 5? I've got it written down downstairs. I might have got to 13 stone 5 from 13 stone 10, which I intended to do before Christmas. So there we are. George Bond has just texted, I miss your old intro and outro. Oh, they'll be back, George. After the Christmas period, they'll be back. Okay? So did for the Christmas period, which isn't starting on the 1st of December and finishing on the 27th of December, like some people think it is. It starts 1 week before Christmas and goes for 12 days after Christmas. So you will see those little outros and intros as they are now until... Oh, I haven't got my calendar now. I haven't got Maureen's calendar yet here. Just a moment. Well, I'll have to use this one. On the 7th. From the 7th of... so January the 6th... which is next Wednesday, you will still see the Christmas ones, and then after that, we go back to the other ones, okay? They're only for the Christmas period, George. Hello to Paul from Enfield. Hello, Paul. Welcome along. Paul says, great show. I think COVID here will still be here for good. What it's taught us about yourself, mine was just slow down, not get close to people. Thank you very much, Paul. in Enfield, yes. For me, it's taught me perhaps to be more cleansing. I don't consider myself to be a dirty person. You probably wouldn't be able to walk past me and say, "Oh, what's that smell?" You know, like you do. Some people, don't you? Oh, and the people with the bad breath. It's disgusting. I like to think that you wouldn't notice that from me, but I certainly, absolutely wash my hands a lot more now than I ever used to. In fact, when we first heard of this COVID thing back in January last year, as soon as I heard about it, I started washing my hands more often. Certainly at work during the karaoke, I'd wash my hands 3, 4, 5 times a night. People behind the bar would say to me, "Are you washing your hands again?" "Yes, I am." And I would spray the microphone with disinfectant. You know, far away. You know, you can't do it too close because it'll damage your microphone. I used to spray from quite far away and the whole mic would be covered. And I do wonder, actually, if we managed to protect people from COVID at that time by spraying the microphone. Certainly, I think it's made a lot of us more clean than perhaps we were. I'm not saying that you were dirty at all, or anyone watching this show. I'm not saying that you were dirty, but perhaps you weren't quite so clean. I certainly, practically every day now, I spray. Don't get me wrong, I don't start scrubbing everything in the kitchen, but I certainly spray it with the flash bleach spray now and just give it a wipe over. If there's any stubborn marks, I'll give them a bit of a rub. I do that almost every day now, and I never did that before. Not really. I think it's made a lot of us a lot cleaner than we used to be. Glenda says she used to work for an attorney located in a small rural town. I had to make sure there was a candle at my desk so I could light it if smelly people come into my office. I've got one of those smelling candles. I quite like those smelling candles, don't you? Candles, rather. Do you? Apparently not particularly good for the environment. They put all sorts of molecule, what are they called, molecules in the air or something like that. I don't know. And that's the one there. Excuse me a moment. Right, let's do some more of these stories. Oh, it's getting on. Time is getting on, isn't it? In the Daily Mail, cheap booze. Cheap booze. Now, for years and years, pubs, quite understandably, have been clobbered by cheap booze in supermarkets. I personally think it was a mistake allowing supermarkets to sell booze. You killed so many of the pubs doing that. And it's like a bit of a vicious circle. Not so many people coming in the pubs because they're drinking at home, so they have to put the prices up, which means not so many people go into pubs and then move into home, so they have to put the prices up, and then less. Do you see what I mean? It's like a vicious circle. I personally think pubs should never have been able. Supermarkets should never have been allowed to serve alcohol. Killed the pub parade. Killed it. More, I would say, than. I mean, I honestly don't think that smoking, the stopping smoking in pubs, I don't think that made any difference at all. Well, certainly what used to happen in the places I work is that people would go out for a cigarette and they would meet people out there. Some formed relationships because they went outside for a cigarette. I used to smoke 40 a day when I was in my late 20s. When I was DJing, I would smoke 20 at work in the 4 hours that I was there. One after the other. It was terrible. And then I just gave up. And I haven't smoked now for 30 years. But I don't think that affected the pubs. It was the supermarkets selling the cheap drink. And you know how much you can go and get a crate of, I don't know, Stella from the supermarket, or 1 pint of Foster's down your local pub. Huge difference. But it looks like there's going to be somewhere cheaper. Now, the supermarkets are not going to like this. But remember, you did it to the pubs. Guess who? Guess who's going to sell it cheaper than the supermarkets? In the Daily Mail, Amazon. Oh, yes. Listen, one day, Amazon know what they're doing. I'm just as guilty. I buy loads of stuff from Amazon. They know what they're doing. Gradually, everyone's buying stuff from Amazon, aren't they? There's delivery driver jobs, if you want, with Amazon. They're always looking for people. One day, as all these shops close and we're losing them left, right and centre, we'll be left with one company that you will buy everything from. They're doing food on Amazon now as well. Will it be Amazon? I don't know. Someone else might come along. But they've got a good foothold in now and gradually they're extending, aren't they? Well, they're going to start doing booze. Amazon booze sales are booming. Well, they already do. Amazon booze sales are booming as it undercuts supermarkets to grab market share. The online giant is making a fresh assault on Britain's supermarkets by offering prices on drinks that are more than a tenth lower than at the supermarket. You haven't even got to go to the supermarket now to order your booze. The aggressive strategy has infuriated supermarket bosses. Oh, do you remember when you did this to the pubs, supermarkets? Do you remember? They've infuriated supermarket bosses, this is Amazon, who have just repaid close to £2 billion in business rates relief. Analysts have said part of the reason Amazon is able to beat them for price is because they pay less rent, rates and corporation tax. Now, I don't know how the tax works, but when you see all these stories about people like Amazon, Apple, other internet-based companies, and they don't pay the tax that there's some large corporations, they do not pay the tax that they really should be paying. They find all sorts of loopholes. You remember, I think it was the year before this, actually, last year, they had a bloke on in a some sort of interview going on in front of like council officials or important politicians, something like that. What do they call that? Not an interview, like a discussion in a room with all these people. And there was the boss of Starbucks. I think it was Starbucks. Either Starbucks or Costa Coffee, one of those people. And I remember the bloke who was in charge, or it was a lady. The lady was in charge. And she says, well, Mr. Starbucks, whatever his name was, you mean to tell me you want me to believe that you actually don't make any profit at all according to your records? And he stood there and he said yes. And I thought, you're a liar. How can Starbucks not make a profit? Have you seen the queues in there? Have you seen what they charge for a slither of cake? £2.50 for a tiny bit of cake, when you can go and buy an entire angel cake in Aldi for like 80 pence. Which incidentally I had at Christmas. Please, don't make any profit, do me a favour. And I think, I don't know what the Amazon case is, you know. Do they pay the tax that they're supposed to be paying? See, they register in other countries, don't they? There's always these loopholes. It says Amazon booze sales soared 663% in the last 4 years, outperforming the market, which rose just 38%. Before Christmas, Amazon, and you may know more than me about this, I don't really know much about drinks, but before Christmas, Amazon was offering Albalaw whiskey. I've never heard of that. Albalaw whiskey for £28, which was £7 less than at Sainsbury's. And Opihir gin for £18, which was £1 less than Sainsbury's and £4 less than Tesco's. A retail analyst said the margins on alcoholic drinks are wafer thin. The fact it pays very little tax and doesn't have loads of stores with rates on has got to be a contributing factor, but it's just one factor. So they're not going to like that, those supermarkets. It says here, supermarkets absolutely see this as a threat. Amazon has seen really strong growth in their sales for alcohol there. So, but like I say, they did it to the pubs. Now someone's doing it to them. There's always someone else in the future, isn't there? Paul says, we've taken you into the bedroom as we're going to bed. Well, good night, my darling. Good night, children. Don't go yet. We're not going to be here too much longer, my darlings, okay? I mentioned your Casualty's coming back. There's some old bag here. She says don't diet after Christmas. By the way, the phone line's still open if you still want to call in. 0208 144 3477. Mick Davenport says he's just joined Amazon Prime. Delivery service is brilliant. Yes, it is. It really is. Wait till you have to send something back, Mick. It's so easy. It's so easy to send something back. It really is. You don't even have to print off a label now. Just keep your boxes for a while. If there's anything you need to send back, you send them a message. I think within 30 days, they don't ask what's wrong. Well, they do. And you just type in what's wrong. Not working, change my mind, anything at all, and send it back. You don't want to be doing it too often. There's plenty of people out there who order clothing items. It's disgusting. They order clothing items, wear them for a night out, and then send them back again. It's wrong, that is. But yeah, when you find you need to send something back, it's so easy, Mick. It really is. And plus, of course, you get the television as well, don't you? You get some free television within that £75 a year bundle. Anyway, the Daily Mirror. It says, with this new year just around the corner, many of us will be committing to a healthier lifestyle. That's me. My friend Guy, he's a manager at Central Station. He wants to lose 2 stones next year. Are you looking at perhaps losing a little bit of that little chubbiness, maybe? I'd like to lose about 1.5 stone. I went to 12 stone last time. I'd like to be 12.5, I think. I think 12 was a little bit too low. I'd like to be 12.5 stone, which means a week ago I would have had to lose 1 stone. And it was coming down, but I lost it so at Christmas I could have quality street chocolate and things like that. Yes, please, Mummy. It says, after weeks of indulging on huge turkey dinners, cheese boards and bottles of wine over Christmas, it's normal to feel a little sluggish. But that's not to say that you should try any crazy detoxes from the festive season, reports the Daily Star. This lady, Colleen, an American nutritionalist who shares advice on her Instagram page, recommends eating normally instead, as it's much more effective than starting a restrictive diet you can't stick to. So what I think she's saying here, yeah, she's got 168,000 followers, marginally, nowhere near as many as I've got. There's millions of people watching this show all over the world now. Did you know that? Roy Brownlow's in bed. Please control your... Oh, Christ. I hope you wear pyjamas, Roy. Oh, God. All right, make me feel quite ill, that has. I'm always hoping for a knock on the door here, to be honest, Roy. I'm sorry, just coming off that subject a bit. There's a bloke lives around here. And I've got... quite like him. The only thing, he's got a family. I seem to like young father. He's not young. He's about 37, I would say. I can't say too much because, you know, someone from here might recognise the person. So I can't identify him. But I think it's gorgeous. I said to my mate, which one? And I told him. He said, you must be joking. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. One day he'll have a couple of too many and then he'll leave his little family house. He'll be knocking at this door, mark my words. Don't worry, I'll have a secret camera set up so you can watch on my OnlyFans account. Do you get people my age with OnlyFans accounts? Anyway, back to this story. Colleen told her followers, if you're wondering how to get back on track with your eating habits, here is my answer. Eat normally. Now, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? So I was trying to create a new normal for myself, which I actually achieved. And I've done it before. I achieved in a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks run up to Christmas. I would have breakfast, dinner, lunch and dinner. There'd be no bread, no pizzas, nothing like that. Just normal, sensible, Slimming World type meals, which incidentally includes as many chips as you want. Not chips from the fryer. Not chips on the fryer. Chips that you make yourself in the oven. You chop up a bit of potato, give it a bit of a spray with fry light, put them in the oven about 25 minutes. Beautiful. And often I put on black Cajun spice. Incidentally, I need to tell my sister to get me some more of that. She gets it from this place in Lincoln. Great big bottle of it she has. Then I have my campfire stew, my spaghetti bolognese stuff, little mini roast potatoes, mashed potatoes. It's what you cook it in. No oil, no butter, no bread, no cakes, no biscuits. And I'm okay with that. I've got a few bits to eat here since Christmas. Once they've gone, that's fine. I hope to be able to get back on it again. And that's what she's saying here. Eat normally. Just cut out the things that you've started eating again. All that chocolate and all that stuff. It's very delicious and it's all right now and again. But not to the excess that perhaps you, and certainly I, have been having over the last few days. She added, you don't need to do some crazy juice cleanse thing to detoxify yourself. Oh, I've known people do that. I knew someone once that went on a cabbage juice diet. Well, she was running to the toilet every 5 minutes. I thought my IBS was bad. And perhaps yours, Rachel. You want to meet someone on a cabbage juice diet. They can't control themselves, dear. Oh, do you know I haven't checked the emails for a while? I'll come to those in a minute, just in case we've got any emails there. Oh, I have. Okay, I'll come to that in a moment. Won't be long. It was a lady. It was years ago. She used to come to the karaoke night. Not old. And she went on this cabbage juice diet. She said, she come up to me. She said, I've been on this cabbage juice diet for a week now. It really works. The trouble is I have to keep running to the toilet. And my farts really smell bad. I mean, what's the point? If you get to that stage, you might as well just start eating the chocolate again, mightn't you? Cabbage juice diet. Oh, sounds awful, doesn't it? But you do see all these celebrities on this stuff, don't you? Various juice diets that they do. Vile. She says you don't need to do some crazy juice cleanse to detoxify you from all the holiday goodies you had. A, what you've had is not really poison. Okay, and B, we have these things called the liver, kidneys and other organs that do a pretty good job at that. Detoxing. Yeah, you don't need to be detoxing and all this business. If you're looking to eat clean, wash your veggies to get the dirt off. Beyond that, eat normally and you'll be good to do too. That's what she says. Restricting or limited foods will only set you up for entering the vicious restrict binge cycle. The lady urged her followers to be kind to themselves instead of feeling guilty about binging at Christmas. She said, enjoying holiday food should not be seen as a setback. It should be seen as a fabulous part of this life we're living. And there's nothing wrong, is there? Christmas time, birthdays, the occasional special event. Perhaps you'll be lucky enough to be going to someone's wedding next year once we can all move about again and having a bit of a binge at that one occasion. When I lost that 2 stone on Slimming World, right? Once I'd lost the 2 stone, I started going out again to the occasional afternoon tea with my friend. And when you go out to an afternoon tea, you have a glass of champagne, maybe 2. Maximum for me 2. Don't ever give me any more than 2. Even 2 is dicey. I'm all over the place. I'll probably be all over you, Mark Bowles, if you're still with us tonight. Whether your girlfriend's there or not. Don't care. Sandwiches, cakes. Oh, eat the lot. Once every few weeks. Didn't affect my weight at all. It affected my weight when I started going out and buying loaves of bread again. And then I'd have crisps at home. That's when it went wrong for me. There's nothing wrong with going out now and again and doing it. Really. Anyway, there we are. That's the subject there. Mike in Brighton says, I'm really lucky. I can eat anything and he never gains weight. Never gains or loses weight. I eat at all times, even late at night. I've been 12.5 stone since I was in my 20s. Even when the meal says 2 servings, I polish it all off. People hate me for it. Oh, how can anyone hate you, darling? No one can hate you, dear. Paul in Enfield says, you did say you like a bit of rough. Diet includes lots of water and lower calorie deficit and exercise. Nothing is impossible to a willing heart. You're right. You're right. I'm going to try, because to lose weight, I do have a massive lunch. My lunches are enormous, right? If I can just knock out the evening meal thing, and perhaps have something very light then, even perhaps a couple of apples or something, that would sort me out. I'd start going down again. Just need to go down to that level and then I'll be happy. I'd like to be about 12.5 stone. No, hang on, is it 12.5 or 11.5? What did I go to last time? 13... I think I went to 12 last time, so 12.5 stone. I think it was 12 last time. I'll have to check in my Slimming World book, which hasn't been opened for 2 years downstairs. Roy's in bed. Get a hot air fryer. They're very good, hot air fryers. I've heard about those. Rachel's just over 11 stone, but I would rather stay around 10. We could all do this together, couldn't we? Do you want to do that? Shall we have a little bit of it? Because it's quite nice. Not a competition. It might be quite nice to all sort of try and lose a little bit of weight together, mightn't it? I'll keep you fully informed. I could change my weighing to Wednesday night. How's that sound for you? Wednesday night weighing. Shall we do that? Of course, the best time to weigh yourself, though, is in the morning, isn't it? I'll weigh myself from next week. I'll weigh myself on Wednesday mornings, and I'll tell you what the weight is on Wednesday night and Wednesday morning on the radio show. Okay? Anyone else want to join in that? You're welcome to do. We could write a little list of names. We'll start that next Wednesday, if you're interested. All right? Paul says, Paul in Enfield, breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. Okay, thank you. I have a very, I don't have a big breakfast. It's like a glass jar. It's got fat-free yogurt in it, a little bit of porridge oats, and usually a chopped up apple. That's my breakfast. It's my lunch. I really do lunch like not a king, like an emperor. Is that bigger than a king, an emperor? What's higher up the scale, an emperor or a king? I'm not quite sure that one. Okay, we'll do a weekly weigh-in. We're going to start next Wednesday then, okay? Weigh yourself on Wednesday morning. Don't do it at night. Weigh yourself on Wednesday morning, and we'll make a list of the people who want to do this. You don't have to, and we'll all do it together. Let's see how we get on. Set your target. I'll write it all down. If I forget this, next Wednesday night, when we do the show next Wednesday night, remind me at the beginning of the show, okay? And we'll do that if you want. Over on the emails there, I'm really sorry I didn't come into the emails. People trying to guess the special guest tomorrow night. Nope, horses wouldn't drag it from me. Hello to Jeff Burley. Hello, Jeff and Linda. My caravan neighbours. Hello to you two. All right, welcome along. Paul Dow sends a picture in. I think, did he send a picture in? Let's have a look. Paul Dow's favourite. I don't know if you tried to send a picture there, Paul, but it didn't come. Hang on, view entire message. No, picture didn't come to me for whatever reason. Paul says he likes the green triangle ones in Quality Street. Thank you, Paul. They're quite nice, aren't they, the green triangle ones? I need to finish those off anyway. Lovely jubbly. George says, I do not weigh myself because I panic. Well, maybe you should start then, George. Eh? Do you want to lose some weight? It's up to you. Do you want to lose some weight? If you do, why don't you join us from next Wednesday? You need to weigh yourself Wednesday, preferably in the morning. But if it's night time, that's okay as well. The secret is you need to weigh yourself at the same time every day. I'll get up, go downstairs and weigh myself there and then. That's when I usually do it. I used to do it on a Thursday, but from next week I'm going to do it on a Wednesday. And I'll tell you what I weigh and you can tell me what you weigh. And if it goes up, whatever, doesn't matter. You can always lose it again the next week. That's what they taught us at Slimming World. I'll tell you how I'm doing it. You can share how you're doing it if you want. Peter says, are you planning to go to 1 o'clock tomorrow night? I don't know about 1 o'clock. Excuse me. Certainly after 12. We'll be starting at 10:30 tomorrow night. So I'm thinking about 12:30. We'll just have to see how it goes. All right? We'll play it by ear. We're not restricted by sort of times or anything like that. Okay? Christmas decorations. Last story today, gang. Who was the first person to pack away their Christmas decorations? Was it you? Are they down already? No. Unlucky. Oh, Shania, darling. Shania. I hope you haven't taken down your Christmas decorations yet. In the Daily Mirror, mum of one, Beck Franklin, admits that although she loves the festive holidays, she can't wait to get the decorations down once Christmas Day is done and dusted. And I know people like this. There's a lot of people out there, I suppose it's just time has moved on and people do things differently now. Really? I think it's a shame. Christmas for me, 1 week before Christmas, decorations up, and they stay up until the 12th night, which is the 7th of January. Is it the 7th or the 5th or the 6th? One of the two. I don't remember what one it is. What day is it? Who would know that? Shania, what's the last day we can have our decorations up? Oh, is it the 5th? Well, it might be the 5th. In which case, you won't see the little Christmas, the videos change back to the normal ones after that. Let's have a look. Here we are. Although the 12th night after Christmas is January the 5th, I must make a note of that. Is it January the 5th? Hang on, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12th night. Okay, so take them down on the 5th, so you won't see them next Wednesday. Decorations. Down. That's when the tree gets put back into its box, doesn't it, eh? All the little sparkly lights. At least you don't have to screw them up anymore. Blooming things they were, weren't they? Phone line now closed. Thank you for your calls tonight. It says, although the 12th night after Christmas, January the 5th, is a traditional day to take down decorations, this lady from Chesterfield has admitted to ridding her house of all the tinsel, baubles, glitter and fairy lights as soon as she possibly can. My friend, actually, Ross Patzel, he does a show at Reach. He's taken all his down. He says he needs the space. It's not that the 25-year-old doesn't like Christmas, as she admits she loves the magic of the holiday. It's that she hates how cluttered the house feels once it's over. And I got to tell you, the best decorations of anyone's house that I know have to be done by my mate. Now, I don't think they're on here anymore. I've taken them down, actually. Actually, if I let me just shove the clock up there. Where's the clock? Where is it now? Oh, come on, where are you? There it is. Let's just put this clock up here for you. And if you look in the, I think it's the bottom left-hand corner. There we go. There you go, bottom left-hand corner there. Can you see that there? That is my mate's house. and they are absolutely the best Christmas decorations I've seen in any house. You should get another picture. They should be revolving pictures on there, mate. Oh, there we go. That's just one of the baubles there. I'll leave that up for a moment or two, and you'll see different pictures going around bottom left-hand corner. That's my mate's house. He spends hours doing that stuff up. Can I make that picture a bit bigger for you? Yeah, hang on. Let's just there you go. All right, I'll just leave that up like that for a minute. I know it's not perfect for you, but you'll see it a little bit better there. The story in the Daily Mirror goes on. This lady, Beck, gave their home a festive makeover in November in a bid to lift their spirits. But in doing so, they've ended up feeling fed up with Christmas much sooner than they expected. And that is my point. When you put this stuff up so early, and I know so many of you do this now, you get fed up with it. All you've done is move the time that you get fed up with it at, don't you? It goes on, and she's one of these people, this lady who put her decorations up early. We put them up in early November to try and lift our spirits of the past year we've had. And because my wife is Christmas crazy, we've ended up fed up quicker. You see? You get fed up with it quicker. You might just reset that for tomorrow night. Otherwise, I might forget. There we go. You like my clock, don't you? Do you like a clock? Pardon? I've got a lovely clock here from Denise. Have you seen it? Look, she gave me that. Look, she gave me 2 of these. Yeah. Look at that. Beautiful, dear. It's all the correct time. Look at that. All connected. That's the clock we'll be using tomorrow night. Just a reminder, gang, when we do our show tomorrow night, 10:30 we'll start. We've got Big Ben. We've got Old Lang Syne, and we got a very special guest appearance last night of someone. Okay? Now, because of the way the internet works, the bells will not be bang on at midnight. They arrive at your computers and phones and TV sets at different times. It's just technically not possible to do that. But you get the general idea, you know what I mean? Don't worry yourself too much about it. There'll be people start sending emails and texts. Oh, you were 3 seconds early. Oh, you are 5 seconds late. That's just the way the internet works. Nothing is instant here, I'm afraid. Nothing's instant. Okay, Rachel says our decorations are down. I mean, things can't get any worse than they already are. I'm sure you're right there. George is going to join us for the weight loss thing. Okay. Now, although we're going to do this together, I'm not going to sit here and start giving you recipes and stuff. I'll tell you how I'm doing it. It's up to you to do it in your own way. You might want to have a little look perhaps at the internet at various ideas and what have you that you've got to lose weight. Look up Slimming World if you want to. You could join that. There is an online version. There's also Weight Watchers and various other little things, little bits and pieces, you know. But it's a slow. You want a slow down. What I would say to you while I'm sitting here tonight, how would I go about it if I've never done it before? All right, I'll tell you. Immediately, no more chocolate, no more crisps, no more cake. Try and knock out the bread completely, and bread products. That would include pizza bases. Okay? When you're cooking, don't use oil, use water. If you're doing chips, don't put them in a big frying pan with loads of oil. Cut up pieces of potato in little squares. Don't need a chip cutter. You can use a knife like that if you want to. Do be careful. Especially you, George. Don't start mucking around with sharp knives, for Christ's sake. If your nan starts emailing me that you've cut your hand off, it's nothing to do with me. It's up to you, mate. All right. Please tell Lily I'm thinking about her, okay? Little Lily. Poor girl's got COVID. She's only 8 years old. 8 or 9 years old, I think. But that's what I'd say to you. My only advice, really, would be immediately, as soon as you want to start, As soon as you want to. Remember, we're going to weigh ourselves next one. We're going to start it next Wednesday, okay? All right? Now, it's up to you. You could start now if you wanted to. Entirely up to you. But we'll have our first weight next Wednesday. If you're worried that you might forget to weigh yourself on Wednesday, I'll tell you in the morning as well on my radio show, which will be from next week, 9 till 10 o'clock in the morning. Reachonair.com is where you'll find that, okay? I'll remind you about your weigh-in on Wednesday morning, just in case you forget. But if you're worried still about forgetting it, why don't you weigh yourself Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday? Then, if you forget Wednesday, you can just use Tuesdays. All right? But my advice, chocolate, cakes, bread, don't cook in oil, cook in water. For example, potatoes, mashed potatoes, no butter. Ow! But that means it won't. Soya milk, if you put in a bit of soya milk in your potatoes, they mash up lovely. Lovely. No more butter. No bread. Okay? That would be my only advice to you there. All right, Mick says Easter eggs are in the shops. Yeah, we done that story the other morning on the radio show. Can you believe that? Some of the shops are doing Easter eggs. All righty. Okay, gang, that's it for the show tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure sitting here tonight. Don't forget, this is the new time. We've got a new weekly chat show every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And at the moment, on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. I think we're going to move the Saturday morning one somewhere to another time on Saturday. I'm not quite sure exactly where yet there. Okay, but it will be back this Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. And do join us tomorrow night, New Year's Eve. My first ever New Year's Eve internet show is tomorrow night at 10:30. There will be a free raffle tomorrow for one of those clocks. The last one is 2 left. That one. And the one I'm going to give away tomorrow night in a free raffle. And we'll give out tickets for tomorrow. You'll be able to call in, you'll be able to text in, and you'll be able to send emails as well. So that's tomorrow night. I'll be back with you on the radio tomorrow morning. How do you listen to that? Very easy. Just go on the internet, perhaps on your computer, reachonair.com. You can listen that way. You can listen on a radio app on the phone called TuneIn Radio. Reach on Air is on there. If you've got a smart speaker, you can listen on Google or Siri. All you've got to do is say the word, Siri, perhaps, okay, and say, play Reach on Air. Or if you've got an Amazon device, it's got a skill, Reach on Air, go into your Amazon app, enable the skill, Reach on Air. Once you've done that, you just say to your box, Amazon, play Reach on Air. Say it slowly because it might start playing something else. And if it starts playing something else, just say, Amazon, the word, stop. And then try it again. Amazon, play Reach on Air. And that should work well for you there. All right. So I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. If not, that's on the radio, reachonair.com. If not, tomorrow night here on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks very much to who called in today. It was Roy Brownlow, George and Daniel. 3 lovely phone calls. Daniel, thanks for having a little laugh with me with your bingo and all that tonight. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a lovely evening. Thanks for watching and listening. Good night.